to the third day of the first test between the West Indies and South Africa, being played at the Darren Sammy International Cricket Stadium in Growele, St. Lucia. And here we go, the first ball of the day. It's Kagiso Rabada to Roston Chase, bang on target, back of a length, and Roston Chase just defends it back down the pitch. The West Indies are starting today on 82 for 4, and they need another 143 runs to make South Africa bat again. And a good afternoon here in South Africa, anyway, to Simon Gear, who's with me on commentary at the moment.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Ken. And it's been a good couple of days for South African cricket, to be honest. I don't think I saw this position coming. I commented on our WhatsApp group before the starter play that this didn't look like a strong team.
As Rabada's second delivery is outside off stump, and Roston Chase just leaves it alone. Yes, I mean, I'm not going to mention your West Indies will be 500 all out in the first innings.
Yeah, I just didn't. I'm going through a stage at the moment where I just don't have faith in this South African side. Look, I think probably instructed by having to watch every ball that South Africa has played in the last 2 years, and it's just been not that edifying, all in all. I see we're on slightly a different rhythm, but if you want to just jump in whenever there's ball to ball.
There's an appeal for caught at short leg now off Rabada, but quite clearly off the thigh pad of Roston Chase as he just angled it into the pads there, and the umpire quite rightly not interested in the rather half-hearted appeal. And looks like a big welcome to David Midgley, who's with us now on commentary as well.
Were you just planning to just listen to us, Dave, or were you jumping in?
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, Sam. Just lurking. If you need me, I'm here.
Okay, no problem. We're all actually waiting for Wahid. But yes. I think, Ken, what you can do, if you can do ball by ball and just mention exactly what ball of the over you're doing each time, and then the rest of us can sync. So it's like as he starts
sync
at
up
the top of his run up, yeah.
We've just had the fourth delivery of Rabada's first over of the day. It jagged back at Roston Chase and struck him on the pads, but too high for a LBW verdict to be given.
Was that Kyle Verreynne again under the he was under the lid. I'm so used to umpiring women's cricket where the girls wear the helmets when they're keeping, even when they're standing back. So he's obviously standing at short leg.
Yeah, Verreynne at short leg is the fifth ball of the over from Rabada.
Just having a look at
outside off stump.
Just looking at that that delivery there with the LBW appeal, some serious movement, gentlemen. It's enticing for South Africa, I'm sure.
There's been movement like that throughout this test, as the last ball of the over is on off stump, back of a length again, and Chase defends it square on the offside. 82 for 4. West Indies remain. That was a maiden over to start the day for the Proteas. Yeah, David, there's been amazing movement, and even at the start of the second innings last night, Lungi and Giri was practically unplayable at times, and Rabada as well. Really excessive movement off the seam.
It's just one of those things during when you play in the Caribbean. There's a little bit more moisture in the surface and in the air, and definitely exciting to see.
Yeah, I think South Africans will be optimistic of wrapping up this game today. Just 6 wickets required. Lungi Ngidi is going to open the bowling from the other end. Simon, your money on the game being over today? Oh, Simon is.
I think Simon's given us a bit of a Deus Ex Machina. I think it will be. I think South Africa have too much firepower for the Windies here. And Simon's back. Welcome back, Simon. We've terribly missed you.
A great start by Lungi Ngidi. His first ball, pitching just outside off stump and shaping away again. Jermaine Blackwood had a little bit of a fiddle at that one before withdrawing his bat just in time.
Yeah, it's good. What do you make of this? The opening pair of Ngidi and Rabada rather than the use of Nokia early on.
I'll answer that now. This is short from Ngidi, an uppercut by Jermaine Blackwood. It's a very slow outfield, and Keshav Maharaj is going to haul it in just before the boundary, and they will come back for 3 runs. So Blackwood goes to 13, and West Indies now 85 for 4. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised, David. I guess the traditional approach is to have your 2 fastest bowlers opening the bowling, so that would be Rabada and Nokia. But I think, in a way, it almost looks like, and I'd love to get your opinion on this as well, it almost looks like Lungi Ngidi is going to be doing the Vernon Philander role going forward. He spoke about just keeping it really tight, blocking up an end, and he's bowled some really good wicket-taking deliveries as well, of course.
Absolutely, it's a different Lungi Ngidi that we came to know early in his career. So he's much more of a unit now, you'd say.
As he bowls his 3rd delivery, it's shortish, and Roston Chase gets on his tippy toes just to pat it back down the pitch. Yeah, Ngidi, with I think all his injuries, has lost a bit of pace. So he's worked really hard on his skills, getting his skills up to scratch. And very nice to see him really shaping the ball away so nicely from the right-handers.
Yeah, you almost think he's with the physique that he has now, you almost think he could have done well with a Springbok on his chest.
He is a big lad, and he gets some bounce out of the pitch now. It was straying down towards the leg side, and it's wrapped Roston Chase on the hand as he prods it away behind square. He'll get a single and a sore hand as well in the process.
I think if we're looking at perhaps a Nokia versus Lungi Ngidi, Nokia is more of an elastic action, whereas Lungi Ngidi, he comes in and he muscles that bounce out the wicket.
Yes, indeed, as Ngidi's in the game now. This is back of the length outside off, some swinging away, and Blackwood shoulders, arms. Yeah, Ngidi, Nokia maybe a bit more of a sort of natural athlete, fast bowler, whereas Ngidi, you think there's a lot of effort that's going into his bowling.
Definitely. It looks like he's he looks like he's a workhorse. I think when we first saw him, he was a little bit more of a marshmallow, but far more toned now. As Wahid joins us.
Welcome, Wahid.
Hey, guys. Afternoon. How are you? Yeah, sorry I'm late.
No worries. As Blackwood shoulders arms again to Lungi Ngidi. This one a bit closer to off stump, but no alarms. End of the over. Second over of the day, and West Indies have gone to 86 for 4, still 139 runs behind. Wahid, the consensus seems to be that South Africa will wrap this up today. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would think today would be the last day. I think the West Indies from this position would do quite well to make South Africa bat again. But I mean, if they do, I can't imagine South Africa chasing a very, very big total, and I can't see this going further than the 90 overs today. Interesting stat I saw, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but in the last 3 to 4 years, barely any test matches go to 5 days these days. I can't remember. I remember seeing the percentage of test cricket finished in 3 and 4 days, and it was extremely high in the last couple of years.
That's a beautiful delivery by Kakisa Rabada to start his second over, totally squared up the batsman. It was shortish and just jagging away. And Roston Chase really had no answer to that absolute gem from Rabada. As Rabada comes in again. Foolish this time on the stumps, and Chase drives. He's got it wide of mid-on. And again, that fast outfield, it has just made it to the boundary, beating Andrik Nokia, slow outfield rather. And the first boundary of the day to Roston Chase takes him to 25, West Indies 90 for 4.
I was about to say, you described it as a fast outfield, and I don't know, seen a slower one. I tweeted the other day that I wouldn't be too surprised to see actual cows in cow corner with the length of the grass out there at the Darren Sammy Oval.
I know they had a lot of rain in the build-up to the game, but really, it's a terribly turgid outfield, and if the pitch is difficult to play on, you do at least want the batsman to get value for their shots as Rabada comes in again.
Yeah.
Shortish outside off stump swinging away, and Chase does not chase it.
The one I remember that was quite similar to this was, I think we played the West Indies, believe it or not, in 2007 in Cape Town, and it was Neil McKenzie's comeback match as an opening batsman. And I remember the outfield being extremely thick at Newlands, and the players really struggling. And Neil Mac actually injured himself and had a grade 2 tear of the hamstring, I think, from memory due to the nature of the outfield. And you forget that an outfield like this can take its toll on the players.
Nicely worked off the pads now by Roston Chase off Rabada, and they get 2 more runs to mid-wicket, 93 for 4 now as Chase goes to 27. Yeah, Wahid, I remember that game. There were quite a few calf injuries, I think, as well in that game.
Yeah.
Just to go back to your point about tests finishing in 3 days, you've touched me a bit on my button here. It's a bit of a pet peeve of mine. It's funny how perceptions, you kind of go for what backs up your belief, as Rabada's in again, back of a length outside off stump, and Chase does well to leave that alone. Because I'm very much in favour of 5-day tests, and I feel like there've been a lot of games that have gone to 5 days lately.
No. Don't get me wrong for 1 second. I am a purist. I like cream kits. I don't like numbers on the back of the test kits, and I like 5-day test cricket. I just read a stat that very few tests actually go the length these days.
Rabada in again, foolish outside off stump, but just left alone by the batsman. Well, Wahid, this old fart is probably less hardcore than you, though, because I don't mind the numbers. I'm okay with it. Helps the spectators. Cream kit, white kit, doesn't really bother me, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the numbers on the back of the kit. Well, I must be honest. I wasn't initially. They've kind of grown on me in the last couple of months. When I first saw them, I thought it was a complete eyesore in Test cricket, and it's kind of grown on me in the last few months.
I imagine for a guy like you,
I suppose it's probably to the. Yeah, I remember once sitting at the Wanderers, sitting in the stands, and my dad said, "Who's the fielder?" And I said, "Oh, that's Colin Ingram." And the lady next to me said, "How do you know that?" And I said, "Oh, I know the way they look and the way they feel and the way they throw." And I suppose to people who not in tune with cricket the way we are, it's probably very helpful to have numbers and names on the back of their on the.
And Ngidi got him. It's down the leg side, and Jermaine Blackwood, according to the umpire, has got a little scratch on this to be caught behind, but he did fairly quickly review the decision. Watching the replay now, and I think that's off his buttock. I think the umpire's probably going to have to reverse his decision there, which I'm fairly happy about. I always feel sorry for batsmen when they get strangled down the leg side like that. It's clearly showing that it's no contact with the bat.
Yeah, so exactly what the DRS system is for bad calls like this, and that is a pretty bad call. It's not for the 50-50 iffy calls. It's for these.
100% Wahid, and just remembering yesterday that Quinton de Kock's innings would have been cut short if he hadn't have reviewed a LBW decision when he was sweeping and the ball came off his glove. And Ngidi will try again, second delivery of his 9th over. This is back of a length slanted in, and Blackwood fends it off on the bounce to short leg. No run.
I feel this is where cricket has gotten it very right, and football has maybe gotten it a little bit wrong in terms of the video assistance referees. Cricket has left some sort of grey area for human error and to sort of stick with on-field decisions, and it's left a lot of things like umpire's call in place for that. Whereas I feel like football, the scrutiny of things like offside rules and handball issues and tackles in the box has really been blown out of proportion, and I don't think they've used or they've implemented the video assistance referee system very, very well.
This is another half-hearted appeal from Lungi Ngidi as Blackwood goes on the drive on the up, misses, and he was struck pretty high and perhaps a bit outside off stump as well. South Africa won't bother reviewing that. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Wahid. I think cricket's DRS system works very well. As you say, it's there to remove the howler, not the 50-50. And I think it's quite a good thing that we have things like umpire's call, and I certainly can see the need for that.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of debate about umpire's call, and I know Mike Hazeman doesn't like it that much, and he believes that if it's hitting the stumps, it should be out, and I do disagree with that. I do think we need some sort of leniency for the human eye on the field, or also at some point down the line we might get rid of the umpires altogether, which none of us would like to see.
Yeah, totally agree with you there as well, Wahid, as this is solidly defended by Jermaine Blackwood. Back down the pitch, no run. Just a replay of that previous LBW, yeah, impact just on or about or outside off stump and clearly going over the top of the stumps. Gideon again. Shortish angled in again, he hits and he's got him, LBW, hitting Blackwood on the pads, and again Blackwood immediately reviews. I'm not sure if he feels there was bat on there. A little shake of the head from Lungi and Ngidi, and then a nod of the head. So not sure what to expect from this review.
Almost like a Shane Watson type of review here so far. Just almost a review because you feel like you sit.
I think this is definitely the best shout of the lot. Angled in, on the back foot, Blackwood. Not moving from the crease at all. He tried to fend it away to the leg stump. He was on the hop a bit, and it did strike him quite high and a little bit leg side-ish. Just ultra edge saying no contact with the bat. But if this is hitting, I would
does seem a little bit high to the naked eye.
Yeah, this I think it's a bit unfortunate to be given out actually for that one.
Yeah.
Probably would have been fairer for the Proteas to have to review if they thought it was out. Yeah, missing the top of leg stump as expected. So Blackwood survives again. That's twice in the over.
Good review, and another instance of the review system working really well.
Poor umpire's having a bit of a shocker this morning. Not a great start.
Which umpire is this who's made this call?
That's Gregory Brathwaite.
That's Brathwaite. That's Greg Brathwaite. How many tests has he? Yeah, how many tests has he umpired from? Let's have a look.
Not a name I'm hugely familiar with, but just having.
No, me neither. So about to have a look. So he's umpired 6 tests before. In test matches, he's stood as umpire twice before, but he's been the TV umpire 4 times before. He's stood in 45 ODIs and 29 T20 international. So he is quite an experienced campaigner. Is Greg Brathwaite? He's 51 years old.
An eventful over comes to an end as Roston Chase just defends Ngidi's last ball to mid-on, no run. West Indies 92 for 4. Chase, Blackwood at least on 13 and Roston Chase on 27. Blackwood living a bit of a charmed life in that over, successfully reviewing 2 decisions that went against him.
Obviously, on the other hand, we've got umpire Joel Wilson, who is a lot more experienced with 21. He's stood in 21 test matches. He's TV umpired 11, so 32 in total. And in ODI cricket, he's officiated in 98 games, 69 on field, and 29 as the TV umpire. So hugely experienced is Joel Wilson in comparison to Gregory Brathwaite, who before this test match I had never heard of.
This is short and lifting from Rabada, but it's a bit down the leg side. Roston Chase tries to get out of the way of it, and Quinton de Kock spills the tank, but I don't think there's any contact at all by the batsman there.
I didn't commentate in the latter part of the day, but how good was it to see Quinton de Kock in full flow yesterday? I mean, he is such a talented cricketer, and I mean, just to see him like unburdened and unshackled and playing to the best of his ability was really a treat to watch.
This is a bouncer from Rabada, which Chase just safely ducks under. Yeah, marvellous one. He really just so nice to see Quinton de Kock smiling again. And I just thought it was such an impressive innings because he got off to a quick start. And in the West Indies bowled really well in that hour before lunch. And de Kock went down again. He knuckled down, he just made sure he stayed there, got through the tough patch, and then capitalised later on. It really was a special effort by him as Rabada comes in again. This is short.
I really enjoy watching Quinton de Kock bat with the tail. I know a lot of people say that he should bat higher up, but he is so good at it.
I agree, Wahid, absolutely. And I mean, he marshalled the tail so well yesterday.
Yeah.
That partnership with Anrik Nortje of 79, which has really pretty much put the West Indies out of the game. And Nortje scored just 7 of those runs. It was fantastic batting by the Kock as hard as in the game.
Two off 59 balls at some point, or something like that.
And this is a good length, good delivery, straight. And Chase nudges it around the corner to find leg for a single. He goes to 28. And the West Indies are 93 for 4.
Quite interesting comment from Quinton de Kock after the game, because I think a lot of people, myself included, made probably the unfair assumption that the burden on Quinton de Kock, that being the captaincy, was what was weighing down on him and what was creating the bad form. And we saw that the stats come up and show his average as captain versus not as captain, and as captain averaging just 12 runs and all sorts. And quite interesting to hear from him after the game that it had absolutely nothing to do with the captaincy, and that he really hated the whole biosecure bubble environment that cricketers have to live under. And it just goes to show that we often look at these people, these professional sportsmen on the screen, and forget that there's a human nature behind them, that they are humans. They are affected by things like living in a hotel and traveling from a room to the change room and back. And it was interesting comments from Quinton all around.
As this is a bit of a wretched delivery from Kakisa Rabada, very short and very wide outside off stump. Blackwood throws a bat at it, but can't make contact. I think maybe there's a bit of Quinny not wanting to admit that the captaincy didn't really sit well with him. I think most people would agree that he just seems a lot more relaxed and comfortable without that extra responsibility. I do, however, think that he is the sort of guy that Bubbles really don't agree with. He's a guy who, when he's not playing cricket, really wants to be in the great outdoors, as Rabada ends his over with a delivery outside off stump that is left alone. 35 overs gone in the innings. West Indies 93 for 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who's watched Quinton de Kock over a long period of time would probably have assumed that the captaincy wouldn't be something that really gelled well with him. I did have the privilege of playing a couple of games with Quinton at Old Ed's once upon a time, way better than I ever was. But I mean, even back then, he didn't strike you as the type who would take to captaincy in any format, whether club cricket, provincial cricket, or international cricket. And I was particularly quite surprised when he was handed the captaincy reins in any case, and it didn't seem to work with him at all.
As Ngidi starts the next over with a back of a length delivery outside off stump, left alone by Roston Chase. Yeah, I think it's important to say, though, that De Kock has a fantastic cricket brain. There's nothing wrong in that department, but I think it's all the extra responsibilities of captaincy that perhaps don't sit as naturally with him. As Ngidi comes in again to Roston Chase again, it's well wide of off stump and left alone.
Yeah, he never seems too comfortable in front of the media. It's almost like he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't seem to enjoy being questioned a lot of the time. Almost like he'd rather be almost anywhere else in the world than being questioned by the media.
I think it's basically shyness. I think he's actually quite a shy guy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the media have a very good relationship with Quinton de Kock. I've certainly always found him to be very affable and just a genuine, nice, laid-back guy. As Ngidi comes in again to Roston Chase, beats him outside or stump this time. Roston Chase rather hanging back in the crease and prodding at that, and it goes past the outside edge.
And Ngidi has been fantastic. He's really hit some really good areas in this test match. He's tested the batsman a lot, and probably more so than Nortje and Roboto, though Nortje has as well. But he's just probed at around that fourth stump line on a good length, almost all test match. He's really bowled extremely well and accurately, and had quite a lot of assistance from the pitch. And he had his just rewards in the first innings, and so far bowled a little bit without luck in this innings so far.
And speaking of that, he finds the outside edge now, and it's going to run away for four for Roston Chase. Stick outside edge found, and it pretty much went straight to ground, though, and through the gap in the slips, and away for four.
Again, it's a really good ball. He's hit a good area and drawn that shot from the batsman, and bowling with a little bit of lack of luck at the moment is our Lungi.
Yeah, Lungi Ngidi has indeed been just so disciplined and has just stuck to that channel outside off stump and doing a lot with the ball as well. It has been an exceptional performance from him, and so good to see as he comes in again for the penultimate ball of this over. This is angled in on the stumps. Good ball, just defended well, though, by Roston Chase, and no run. Just a reminder that you can tweet us with any of your thoughts on what's happening in this test match. Tweet us at Gorilla SA.
Are you on the tweet deck?
I do have a tweet deck up, yeah.
Okay, cool.
97 for 4 then, the West Indies, as Ngidi's in the game, back of a length. Chase prods at it and edges it to the gully, all along the ground though, so no worries there. And the end of the 36th over, 97 for 4, the West Indies, and this has been a little bit of a recovery from Blackwood and Chase, as they've added 46 now for the fourth wicket.
So, question to you, Ken. In your years working in the media, you speak about Quinton being a really a fellow who's really liked by the media and they're very willing to his media duties. Have you ever come across players who really are difficult to deal with in terms of while being in the media?
You occasionally get guys. I mean, I think every cricketer does have a bad day when obviously the pressure's on them, and they're very competitive people, and when things don't go right on the field, they can be a bit, I guess, have a bit of a short fuse, but pretty few and far between guys who are sort of awkward to deal with as a rule, as Blackwood drives at this full and wide delivery from Rabada, goes past the edge to wicketkeeper de Kock.
So no Jose Mourinho-like characters you've ever had to deal with?
I can't think of anyone offhand who was consistently difficult. As Rabada's in again to Blackwood, swinging away outside off stump, and good judgment by Blackwood as he leaves that alone. That ball actually swung so much that Quinton de Kock had to dive a bit to actually get it behind the stumps. A lot of movement on offer for South Africa still, which will certainly please them. It's a reasonably nice sunny day in St. Lucia. Looking at the previous records of test matches, it's quite fortunate we haven't had rain yet. Previous tests in June. Robardo beats Blackwood again outside the off stump. He jumped back in his crease and again just prodding outside off stump. And that one kept a little low as well, through to wicketkeeper de Kock.
Yeah, Robardo's bowled really well in this innings. I know we were talking about it quite at length in the first innings that he hadn't maybe had the figures that he had previously in 2018, but he's bowled really well in this innings so far. And we see the consistent nature of Kagiso Robardo that we've become accustomed to over the years.
And this goes right through Blackwood, jagging back at him. It's a shortish delivery, so it goes over the stumps as well, and fortunate not to get an edge to wicketkeeper de Kock. But Robardo has bowled beautifully in the second innings, and I thought he bowled pretty well in the first innings as well, but just didn't have much luck.
It's often the case. I often use Morne Morkel as an example of a player who bowled without luck. I often found that Morne Morkel would hurt batsmen in all sorts of places, and Dale Steyn would pip him off at the other end and reap the rewards of all the work that Morne Morkel often did at one end. And
this is swinging away sharply from Kagiso Robardo and really bounced quite high off the pitch, but it was starting outside off stump and left alone by the batsman. I think Morne Morkel also maybe at times bowled just that little foot or so short. So the movement he got went past the edge, as Robardo said again. This is full and driven firmly by Jermaine Blackwood, and he's picked out short cover. Would you believe it? It was a really well struck drive. And he hit it straight to the man who's actually more of a short mid-off than a short cover.
So that brings in Jermaine Blackwood's innings. He scored, let me just get it up here. He scored 13 runs from 45 balls with 1-4 at a strike rate of just a touch under 30. And he was spent. I'm trying to get the figures up. Sorry.
Well, it's been really good use of the surprise full ball by the Proteas there. Robardo, obviously a fearsome fast bowler. He's been bowling back of the length and swinging it away, and then he threw in the full one. And the man definitely placed there for exactly that for the drive. Rassie van der Dussen taking a nice low catch.
That will bring Joshua Da Silva to the crease. Very young wicketkeeper batsman. He's just a touch under 23. He's played 5 test matches so far with a highest score of 92. He scored 301 runs at an average of 37.62 and a strike rate of 41. Though in first-class cricket, his numbers are 22 first-class matches. So really very early into his first-class career as well, with a high score of 113 and an average of 33.51 and a strike rate of 47. So really, he doesn't have. I have given you the wrong batsman to come out because Jason Holder has come out instead.
The West Indies have sold you straight down the river there, Wahid. You would expect the wicketkeeper batsman to be coming in at 7, but it is indeed Jason Holder again.
So Jason Holder, 29 years old, has played 47 test matches. He has 2,253 runs to his name, a highest score of 202 not out, and averages 33. A lot more experienced than Joshua Da Silva, who I assume will be next.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he will be. And Jason Holder, of course, top scored for the West Indies in that rather dismal first innings of theirs of 97 all out. He made 20, and it's Anrich Nortje who joins the attack and bang on target straight away. A super delivery, back of the length, nipping away. Roston Chase is beaten outside off stump. Anrich Nortje really has been magnificent in this Test match. Just unrelenting pace and hostility, and also just tremendously accurate. And there's just been no easy runs for the batsman when Anrich Nortje has been into the attack.
I'd say not just this Test match. Probably for the last 18 months or so has Anrich Nortje been exceptional. He's been absolutely brilliant for South Africa in just about all formats of cricket. Has Anrich Nortje.
And this one angles into the stumps, and Roston Chase again playing from the crease to quite a full delivery, and just pushes it away on the offside. Yeah, Nortje, a well-deserved winner of Cricket South Africa's Player of the Year award a few days ago. He has taken to international cricket quite magnificently.
Though we did see a stat about how much better he is at, or not how much better he is, because he's been fantastic in Test cricket as well. But he's really come to the fore recently in T20 cricket, where he's bowled with a real aggression, and he's really done extremely well, both in the IPL and in South Africa's domestic leagues, and for South Africa as well in T20 international cricket.
Indeed, he really does seem to be the complete article now as a fast bowler, as this one is again angled into the pads and is pushed away on the leg side this way by Roston Chase, and there will be no run. Yeah, Anrich Nortje, at the age of 27. Yeah, he does look the complete package. As this is short and slashed away by Roston Chase. It's a bit uppish, but it beats backward point. Keshav Maharaj chases after it, and they'll get through for 2 runs. Chase will go to 34, and the total 99 for 5.
Interesting about Anrich Nortje is that very much like Dale Steyn, who came from Palabora, also comes from a tiny little town, Uitenhage, which is less famous for cricketers produced and more famous for VWs produced in this country. But the interesting fact is that Anrich Nortje actually has a BCom degree in financial planning.
As he comes in again, short bouncer, and Chase manages to get to ground and sway out of the way. Yeah, the first time I actually saw Anrich Nortje live in the flesh was when he was playing for the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University in Kibera, or Port Elizabeth, as it was then known, in the National Club Champs. And already then looked a special fast bowling talent. He looked like someone who could go far, and it's been wonderful to see him go all the way to the top.
Really good cricketer is Anrich Nortje. Another player I remember who has a BCom degree is Dwayne Pretorius, BCom degree in accounting.
And that's a wonderful shot by Roston Chase, full on middle of leg from Nortje, and Chase drives it away past mid-on for 4 runs, and that's probably the best shot he's played this morning. He goes to 38 not out. And the West Indies are 103 for 5 at the end of the over, still trailing by 122 runs.
Are there any others, Ken, that I'm missing? Qualified or educated cricketers in university degrees? I know Sangakkara, I'm talking about, is a lawyer. I'm talking more in the South African sphere of things.
I think it's becoming a little bit more common, because the South African Cricketers Association, which is the players' union, basically, is encouraging guys to study, and so they do have part-time degrees on offer, courses that they help them with. I think Rassie van der Dussen, if I'm not mistaken, is quite well advanced in a law degree, just running through.
Eddie Lee as well. Eddie Lee has a master's degree, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he got it just recently. Wonderful to see. Eddie Lee, the Proteas wrist spinner, who has had a lot of misfortune on the cricket field lately, but he's certainly putting his time to good use, furthering his studies.
Yeah. I remember seeing him once at Wits, where I studied, and pointing him out to my friends. I was like, that's Eddie Lee, he plays for South Africa. And they're like, how do you know that? I was like, yes, I know these things. As you should, and really I found it a pity that Eddie didn't play more for South Africa.
certainly had something as a spinner, as Rabada is angling down leg stump and Holder takes it on the thigh pad, no run.
Someone else, I think, was it someone's just recently joined the Wits University club so that they could further their studies. I forget who it is. It's not Nona Pangolo.
I think not certainly a student, yeah. Not another man who's doing well on the cricket field and certainly furthering himself in terms of studies as well. And a really good commentator, Nona. Wouldn't it be great if he could join us one day on Guerrilla Cricket? He's done some great work for the SABC, the Central Gauteng Lions all-rounder.
Yeah, I mean, we have had a few of celebs on Guerrilla Cricket. We've had Joey Rusdin, who used to come around quite often, and Simi Arif comes around now and then. Comedians.
Two of my favorite comedians, Joey and Simi, wonderful guys.
I miss Joey. It was so much fun to have Joey on the couch with us.
I can assure you it's actually even more fun to play cricket with Joey. And
I played a lot of cricket. I played a lot of cricket with Joey at Old Eds in the Saturday League. Joey came around, and when you see Joey, you don't expect him to be quite as good as he is. He's a very decent cricketer.
Exactly right. There's Rabada. This is a beautiful delivery, and Rabada's appealing for LBW as it strikes Holder on the back leg. But Holder's a very tall man, and that struck it well above the pad. It was a great line and length, bang straight, and managed to beat the forward defensive of Holder. But I think it would have been clearing the stumps. No thought of a review by the South Africans.
Stifled appeal really from Kagiso Rabada. I don't think he thought that was out, and I don't think anybody else in the stadium thought that was out.
I think it was such a good ball that he felt it deserved an appeal, which I'd have to agree with. And this one is outside off stump and just left alone by Jason Holder, who is yet to get off the mark after 6 deliveries now. The West Indies 103 for 5.
So trail by 122 with 5 down. I think South Africa will be sniffing an innings victory here, whereas I think Jason Holder and Royston Chase will be doing everything in their capabilities to try and ensure that doesn't happen. Though my suspicion is still that South Africa will wrap this up today, probably by an innings. I don't see how this lower middle order of the West Indies will get the 122 here.
Yeah, they're going to have to bat really well as Anrich Mokia comes in again. First ball to be second over today, back of the length, angling away, and Chase defends off the back foot towards point, no run. Chase on 38 not out. He's faced 102 deliveries and showing some application, which is really what has been missed by the West Indies batsmen in general in this match.
Do tweet us if you're listening at Guerrilla SA. It's always good to have a bit of interaction on the Twitter page. We normally have a bit of interaction from the likes of Anis Mohammed and Rami Woi Pom Pom and all the like. So do tweet us and get in touch, and let's keep the discussion going.
Yeah, it's very quiet on the Twitter sphere at the moment as Nokia angles this one into the stumps, back of the length, and Chase just defends it. Away on the onside, no run.
I read a tweet yesterday that said that the way that Rakeem Cornwall plays, I don't think this is the way he looks, but the way he plays reminded someone quite a lot of Carl Hooper.
Goodness, I can't see much similarity between the two, but as Chase is struck on the thigh pad trying to work Holder away on the leg side, no run. The athletics of Carl Hooper does not really spring to mind when I look at Rakeem Cornwall, I must admit.
The first Test match I ever watched was at the Wanderers with my dad. I think I must have been 6 or 7, and Carl Hooper played in that game. My first game I watched, I think, was South Africa against Sri Lanka. I must have been 6 with my dad, and I remember Roger Telemarcus bowling extremely well in that game. And when we watched the Test match, it was at the Wanderers in South Africa play the West Indies, and Carl Hooper was involved in that game. Let me see if I can bring up the scorecard from that game.
As this is outside off stump from Nortje and left alone by Chase. Nortje getting it up to 139 kilometers per hour there, so he's warming up certainly. Yeah, Carl Hooper, I mean, I just remember he was a fantastic stroke player. Just seemed to have so much time, and there wasn't much effort to his batting. It just seemed to come really naturally to him.
So I do seem to have the scorecard from that game. It was in 1998, which means I would have been in grade 1. The West Indies versus South Africa. The West Indies scored 261 in their first innings with contributions from. I'll talk off this ball.
Yeah, it's
Hendrik Nortje has bowled.
Roston Chase. Thinking he was Carl Hooper there for a second. I think that was a very expansive drive outside off stump, but it was on the up and the ball whizzes past the outside edge, a narrow escape there for the batsman.
So first innings of the first game I ever watched was 261 from the West Indies with contributions from Shivnaren Chanderpaul, who got 74, Carl Hooper got 44, Stuart Williams 35, and Nixon McLean 28. Talk again after this ball.
As Roston Chase just pushes this one away on the leg side, and they threw for a quick single to end the over. He goes to 39, West Indies 104 for 5.
Sean Pollock picked up 5 wickets for 54 in his 23 overs. South Africa then went into bat and scored 268 with contributions from Gary Kirsten 62, Jacques Cullis 53, Hansie Cronje 41, and Pat Simcox down the order got 25. West Indies in their second innings got just 170 with contributions from just about no one, and Sean Pollock picking up 4 to get him 9 in the game. South Africa then chased the 164 with minimal fuss. Interesting about that was David de Brugge played in that game, whose mom was my maths teacher in prep school.
Oh, goodness, what a link that is. David de Brugge, of course, in the news this week because he was a member of the independent nominations panel that has been choosing the independent directors for the new Cricket South Africa board. That was announced today as Vian Mulder joins the attack, and this is outside off stump and swinging away, no run. For those of you who haven't heard the news, so Cricket South Africa had their AGM this morning, and we have a new board that comprises 7 independent directors. It was a bit of controversy that the 8th one still has to be confirmed, but those 7 independent directors are Stephen Budlender, a advocate and a self-confessed cricket obsessive, as Mulder again. This is even wider, outside off stump and swinging away. Andrew Hudson, the former Proteas opening batsman and convener of selectors. That ball was actually called wide from Mulder, so it's 105 for 5 now. Andrew Hudson, the former Proteas opener and convener of selectors, as an independent director. Dugmore Lashaba, who has a doctorate in business administration and very experienced person in terms of sitting and chairing boards. He's an independent director. Again, outside off stump from Mulder and swinging away, left alone. Lawson Naidu, a governance expert who is the executive secretary of the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution. He's on there. Andisa Insubani, who is a very familiar face around cricket because he used to be involved with major sponsors of the game. It'll be great to see him back in cricket circles. He is a marketing and communications expert and now independent director. Mark Rayner, the former CEO of MultiChoice, and Ntombi Ravele, who is a seasoned sports administrator, having served in tennis boxing and netball is the other independent director. Mulder outside the off stump again and left alone, no run.
Tweet from Daniel Kiwi, who says, at Gorilla SA, really happy I found you lads. Finding SA cricket internationally is really hard. How do you lads rate the batting this game? Have we seen the consistency that's been missing in SA's batting?
Well, I think it was a pretty good batting effort by South Africa. Actually, it's a tricky pitch to bat on, as Mulder is in again outside or some swinging away. And I think it was good to see Markram and Rassie van der Dussen and Keegan Peterson also did quite well coming in first drop, stuck around for a while, just laying something of a platform for Quinton de Kock, who then got good support from Vian Mulder and obviously André Nortje. You know, I think to make 320 was quite a good effort on this pitch.
I would tend to agree. I think that 320 on this pitch was well above par. I would almost think that 280 was probably par on this pitch. So South Africa did have a very good batting effort. I thought Aidan Markram batted particularly well as well, and I think he applied himself really well in this innings.
This time Mulder bowls the in-swinger. It's slanted into the pads and driven away through mid-wicket by Roston Chase, and they'll get through for 2 more runs. He goes to 41. And the total is 107 for 5.
Back to the discussion about firsts. My first ODI, I've dug up the scorecard, was in April 1998. South Africa played Sri Lanka at the Wanderers. South Africa batted first and scored 266 for 8, with Mike Rindle opening the batting and getting 59. And contributions from not many others, apart from John T. Rhodes, who came in at number 7 and scored 43. Interesting in that game was Lance Klusner batted at number 3 as a pinch hitter. And it was an interesting first experience for me, understanding what a pinch hitter was, having my dad explain that to me.
As this is full, almost in the block hole from Mulder, and Chase digs it out to mid-on. No run, end of the over, 107 for 5.
In reply, Sri Lanka got 209 with contributions from Sanath Jayasuriya, who got 68, and just about nobody else. South African as bowlers, Roger Telemarcus got 4 wickets in his 10 overs, and still Steve Elworthy got 2, so did Hansie Cronje and Derek Crooks. Roger Telemarcus was man of the match. Do you remember your first game, Ken?
I have vague recollections of it would have been in the late 70s, going with my father to Kingsmead. It was before the big concrete stand was built on the one side of the pitch, because I remember it was all just grass embankments, and we sat there, and I had my first look of heroes such as Vincent van der Bijl, Tip Smith, Mike Proctor, Barry Richards. Fantastic era in the Tau cricket.
Would that have been the Benson and Hedges Cup?
No, it was a 3-day game, as they were then.
Yeah, read good stories about the provincial cricket and the state of the provincial cricket back in the 70s, before, obviously, when South Africa were not playing in the international arena. As
Nortje bounces Jason Holder, but it's outside off stump, and no worries for the batsman there. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people talk about the last South African test side before isolation in 1970, and how promising the future looked for them. And I think the 70s, and it's probably a lengthy conversation we should have when there's a rain tonight, would have been one of the greatest eras of South African cricket, I think, just with the talent that was available to South Africa at that stage, as Nortje was in the game. Short holder pulls. Doesn't get all of it. Short leg was interested for a little while. It dribbles out past square leg, and Rabada runs from fine leg to do the fielding, and Holder is off the mark after 8 deliveries, 108 for 5.
Yeah, obviously we've heard stories about the Gauteng Mean Machine, and unfortunately never got to see them in action, but before my time.
Yeah,
or I'm saying Gauteng. It would have been called the Transvaal Mean Machine.
Yes, that's right. Back in the day, yes. Also a very strong team. All 11 guys really were international standard cricketers. As Nortje is in the game now to Roston Chase. Back of a leg that keeps quite low. And Chase, he was on the hop, and I think he almost caught the ball between his legs there. It was very short, but kept really very low for the length it was. No, he got an inside edge, which he then caught between his legs, just as well, because that could have gone back onto the stumps.
Yeah, he's done well to get any semblance of bat on that and to keep it out, because that's kept very low, and again we're seeing variable bounce on this deck at the Darren Sammy Oval. It's interesting to note how the nature of the pitches have changed in the West Indies. I remember when I was young, you wouldn't associate this type of pitch with something in the West Indies.
Nicely driven off the back foot by Chase towards cover point, and he'll get a single. He goes to 42, 109 for 5. Yeah, well, it's funny because I can remember when I was young, obviously 70s, 80s, the West Indies were famous for their fast bowling, and the pitches did have a lot more pace and bounce. And there's a theory that the decline in West Indies cricket was due also to the decline in their pitches. So the bouncer from Nortje and it evades Quinton de Kock. It swung a lot after pitching down leg side, and it's gone for 4 byes. That because their pitches got really quite slow and low, that their batsmen then struggled to adapt elsewhere in the world.
Yeah, we've seen some fantastic cricketers come out of the West Indies over the years, and they've had a bit of a slump in the Test arena recently. But the ODI cricket and T20 cricket is really still fantastic, and they really produce some real X-factor cricketers. And I think that's why they've remained so really really good in the limited overs format of the game. They really are a team that play without fear in the limited overs format of the game.
This is off the outside edge of Holder's bat, and it goes away to Gully. No run to in the over. Yeah, I must say, having not seen too much of the West Indies in recent years, it's the first time South Africa played them in something like 6 years. I was kind of hoping that their batting had improved a bit, but based on what we've seen so far, unfortunately not.
Mm-hmm. Tweet from Otto Simon says at Gorilla SA, West Indies Windies grinding at the Protea Fire probing. I don't like cricket, I flippin' love it. West Indies vs South Africa live on 1WSR.com.
Thank you, Otto. Yeah, he's a passionate cricket man, and not sure if he's on air today at all, but certainly good to listen to.
I think he should be up next. I think Tim and Otto will be next after this over, when we'll have a changeover.
Fantastic. This is wide outside off stump and swinging further away from Mulder. No run. Vian Mulder's certainly swung the ball in this game, but for my liking, he's bowled really too wide off stump. I don't know what percentage, but probably 80% of his balls have just been left alone by the batsman.
I feel like he's been told to bowl faster. I think he's been asked by management or someone along the line to try and push it through a little bit faster.
And just to make me look silly, he produces a cracking in-swinger there this time, and it also kept a bit low. And Roston Chase has just managed to dig that out before it struck his pads. No run. That would have been plumb LBW, I fancy. Two very tall men at the crease at the moment in Holder and Chase. And I think those balls that do keep low could present quite a challenge for them.
Yeah, as I was saying, I felt yesterday his pace was up, and maybe one of the reasons why he was not bowling to the same areas he usually bowls to. And I felt like there might have been a very specific instruction from management to try and push it through a bit faster, as we see Mark Boucher and Charles Langeveld, the bowling coach, watching on.
Yeah, I think that's quite likely. Waheed, as this is another in-swinger, and Chase just pushes it to mid-on, no run.
Vian Mulder, from a bowling perspective, has played 4 Test matches and taken 11 wickets with an average of 23. So bowling really well in the Test arena so far in his very short career. In first-class cricket, still really good. In 38 first-class matches, he's 105 wickets with an average of 25 and best innings figure of 7 for 25.
Yeah, very skillful bowler, as he shows again now. Wraps Chase on the pads, but very half-hearted appeal because that's clearly going well down the leg side. It was a no ball anyway. See, that's obviously picked up by the third umpire, so Mulder will have to bowl the penultimate ball of this over again, just over the line. There he comes, good length forward comes Chase. Solid defensive shot, no run.
Just a little update from the other game on the go at the moment, which is in England. England got 303 in reply. New Zealand got 388, so a lead of 85. And currently England 18 for 2. Rory Burns, the informed Rory Burns, out for a second ball duck, and Dom Sibley also out for 8 from 14, which has Zach Crawley at the crease. He's on 10 from 17, and Joe Root, none from 3. Notable contributions in the New Zealand innings I'll get to after this ball.
And it's beautifully driven by Roston Chase through mid off for 4 runs. Vian Mulder going full, and Chase presenting the full face of the bat. Got a bit of a stride in as well, and goes between the bowler and mid off for a very handsome boundary.
So notable contributions in the New Zealand first innings was from Devon Conway, 80 from 143, Will Young, 82 from 204, Ross Taylor, 80 from 139, to get their 388. So currently, England still trail by 67 runs.
And Roston Chase repeats the medicine this time. This is a straight drive for 4 Vian Mulder, and that'll be his 50 for Roston Chase, up off 122 deliveries. Still plenty to do, of course, for the West Indies, but great to see how he's applying himself so well. And that's going to be the first jinx break of the day. So Wahid and I will leave you with the West Indies on 122 for 5. They're still 103 runs behind, with Roston Chase is on 50 not out now. Jason Holder on 1 not out. South Africa just managing to pick up 1 wicket this morning, that of Jermaine Blackwood, who was caught at a short cover by Rassie van der Dussen off Kagiso Rabada for 13. Wahid, your feelings on that first session?
Yeah, I thought the Proteas were quite probing, and the West Indies try to grind it out, and yeah, it was entertaining Test cricket, and yeah, we hand over to Tim and Otto for the after drinks bit of this first session at the Darren Sammy Oval. Thanks, guys. I'm not sure we'll see you tomorrow, but if we do, we hope you enjoy the rest of the day's play.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And I'm sure Otto will be joining me shortly. For the moment, West Indies 109 for 5. A decent spell of bowling from South Africa all around. They'll be slightly disappointed, shall we say, that they didn't get another wicket in that first session. They'll want to wrap up this innings and test match as quickly as possible. But Roston Chase has been very good. I've been quite impressed. That's the reason he was brought into the side. He's a sort of rock of the side, and sort of just about managed to keep this West Indian batting together for the moment, anyway. 50 of 122 balls. He's played it well, played it solidly. Hello, Otto.
Hello.
Are you there? Just in case you're wondering if there's any more cricket, still the drinks break, the cricket, so we haven't missed anything. So as soon as we have cricket back on the show, I'll let you know. As we go again, Nokia comes into bowl to Holder. Holder solidly behind it and pats the ball down the pitch. There's no run. 122 for 5 after into the 44th over. Otto? Okay, there we go. You all right? Nokia comes in again to Holder. Holder goes in behind it, blocks it. No run. Hi, Simon. Nokia comes in to Holder. Holder gets it behind it once more. This one goes in the offside, and there's no run. 122 for 5. Nokia comes in with the 4th ball of his over. This one a bit shorter, and Holder is able to swivel and pull it quite powerfully because of the slow outfield. Doesn't quite go to the boundary, and he goes through for 3. Very good shot there from Holder. Got it behind it. It was almost as if he picked the delivery. Very well played shot there from Holder. This one out of the off stump, and Chase just looks to go through to the keeper.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Otto. I can't hear Simon.
Simon, are you muted?
I got you, Otto. I got you. Last ball of the over for Nokia. He comes in. This one a bit fuller. Notice, listen, can't bowl too short of this pitch. And this one goes through to the keeper. Nice left by Chase. 125 for 5 after 44.
Okay, I'm now watching the streaming, and
Okay.
I've just seen the 5th delivery of the 44th over. So I think you stay on ball by ball. If there's some kind of break in play, we can sync up.
Okay. All right. We'll sync up. If it's a wicket, we'll sync up. How's that? Or something? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the best tactic from here. I thought they might skip us with the rolling blackout, since we were due to go from 4 to 6:30 on stage 1, but some eager beaver switched us off. anyway.
So the switcher off. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be a problem, but yeah, I found a connection here that that seems to be working. Okay, you're doing well, Tim?
Alrighty. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Hoping for a quick-ish finish today. So far it's a bit slow. This is a bit of a strange one. Oh, Maharaj comes into the attack, and with his first delivery, he bowls Holder. He pitches the ball on the off stump, and because there was no turn, the ball just goes in with the arm, and Holder, thinking that it was going to be turned, just lifts his bat up, and the ball hits his off stump and takes it out the ground.
Okay,
That's
cool.
Holder
So
gone.
you can pause your feed if you're
Yes,
able to.
I will. Yeah, I will.
And then I'm seeing the bowling change happening now, and indeed I'm seeing some pictures of horses having a nice munch on the lawn. Hopefully that's not on the playing field, but it looks like it's maybe adjacent to. Yeah, so after conceding no runs in the final over of yesterday's play and left alone by Holder there, I'm seeing it now. And Maharaj castles him off stump gone. What a delivery by Keshav. First up, Jason Holder looks really annoyed with himself, blowing his cheeks out, making a horse-like sound, no doubt. And that is the off stump out of the ground for Jason Holder, and well done, Tim. 1 wicket in the session so far, so we need another 4, and then we can all have a Saturday night after being cheated out of 2.5 days of cricket. Let's hope that the West Indies can fight some more so that we can get some more cricket to watch. And I've got.
It took us 11 minutes to get that wicket. I think that must be a record.
It must be some kind of record, yes. And so we see Keshav connecting with himself there and his higher power. And to the crease comes De Silva, the wicketkeeper batsman for the West Indies. Have you got his figures there?
Yeah, he's got an average of 33 with a high score of 92. And from people who know him a lot better than I do, say that he's a very good batsman. He's got a lot of potential with the bat. He's got a decent record, mid 130s, say mid 30s. That's a decent start to your Test career. High score of 92, so we'll see how he does. At the first ball, he drives to mid-off and scampers through for a quick single of Maharaj. Looks like a busy sort of cricketer. That was a good rotational strike there for the West Indies. And they're just showing the Maharaj wicket on repeat. Because there's nothing more beautiful than seeing, as a bowler, seeing the batsman's off stump up the ground. Especially if you're a spinner.
Yes, especially if you're a left arm spinner around the wicket to a right-hander, pitching the ball on off stump and hitting off stump and having the batsman completely flummoxed. Why did Holder leave that delivery? I'm watching the replay now. It was coming in to his off stump. Why did he leave that? He must have played for the spin, which didn't.
He was playing for the spin.
There was no turn.
Yeah.
Played for the turn. Played for the turn and missed the straight one. Yeah. Or left the straight one.
Playing for turn. We had a couple of dot balls there. Nothing too exciting.
Third delivery now. Right now. And Chase whacks this one into mid-wicket for no run. So do you want to stay on ball by ball, Tim, or?
I don't mind. I'll stay. I'll stay for now. Yeah, I'll stay.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Seeing as I'm on battery power here and on my, I'm camping out in my house. with my alternative energy sources here and
Yeah.
battery powered.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, good.
Well done.
Mirage comes in. This one, in front of the stumps. Chase tries to whip it through to the leg side for a single, and it goes to the fielder, and there's no run.
Yeah, so the West Indies, they stuck with it well for the first hour, but South Africa getting the breakthrough at last here in the second hour, and
Yeah.
four more wickets to go, and the West Indies have they are trailing by, I'll tell you now, 99 runs. So well done, the West Indies. They've reduced the deficit to under 100. And the last 10 overs, 33 for 2. So you just interrupt me if there's a...
No. We got a dot ball. 126 for 6 after 45. No, that's fine. All good.
End of the over.
Yes, end of the over. Yeah.
Okay, so 45 overs gone. West Indies 97. In reply, South Africa 322. And then the West Indies now 126 for 6 after 45 overs in their second innings. Trying to set the score for South Africa. But as Wahid said in the first hour, I don't see them getting anywhere near a competitive total from this position. They'll be happy just to make South Africa bat again. And I'll be happy if they do that, because my next turn is up at 9 o'clock, which will be
I think you're safe.
Post-tea session.
I think you're safe.
Yeah.
First ball of the new over, Nokia bowls back for length, and De Silva back foot drives it to the cover fieldsman, and they aren't able to take a single.
So we've had a new listener joining us, Dan Kiwi. Dan, let's see here. Did Dan tell us where he's listening from? No, he said that he's found us, which is a good thing. It is difficult sometimes to get cricket coverage in strange places, or if your national broadcaster refuses to broadcast the national team's cricket. That's how I found Guerrilla Cricket UK in a few years ago. So Dan, let us know, where are you listening from? He says, I assume that he has any friends, because I asked him to share with his friends, and
we've had two slightly wide deliveries there from Nokia. Both De Silva has left through to the keeper. Not tempted to drive, not tempted to have a fishing expedition. So score still 126 for 6.
Oh, and it's also nice to see Natalie Germanis on the commentary team for the TV feed that we are watching here.
Yes.
If you are, let's see if there's a delivery coming. Tim, you just cut me off.
Yeah. Next one, again, another short delivery from Nokia. A bit more menace in this delivery. This one, De Silva has to sway backwards to get out of the way of the delivery. Goes through to the keeper.
So if you're listening to us, or if you are listening to us and you know somebody who is not male, we do need some more ladies commentating on One World Sports Radio on Guerrilla Cricket South Africa. You can get in touch with us via our website. Send an email to mpo@1wsr.com or simon@1wsr.com. If you want to join our commentary team, and special preference will be given to female applicants.
This one, a really good short ball from Nokia, ball with real speed. Silva wasn't too sure about it, ducked underneath it, but wasn't focusing on the ball. Goes through to the to cock behind the stumps and takes it above his head. You can see the plan here. The plan is to bowl some short stuff to De Silva.
Okay, and that one is the last delivery of the 46th over that I've just watched. So if we can see it up there.
As it comes up with the following delivery, it's a sucker punch delivery. It's a full and wide one. De Silva is tempted to drive at it, misses it. Rather lucky not to get an edge. So the plan really worked there for South Africa. Plenty of short balls, and the follow up with a full wide one. But there was no edge, no run. So 126 for 6.
Okay, so it looks like we're synced up. Thank you, Tim. I might be a little bit behind you still, but I think that's good enough for now.
Okay.
Let's see if Maharaj, I'm watching Maharaj's first delivery now.
It's a dot ball.
Yeah, just
Good piece of fielding by Maharaj to stop the single being taken from a nice drive there from Chase. He has slightly looks at his hand, but I think he'll be all right. Just a bit of a knock at the hand, but I think he'll be all right. Taking money for the team.
Yep, stopped mid-off drive there. Nice solid drive by Ruston Chase, who's on 50 runs.
This next one, a bit quicker through the air for Maharaj. So with it on the stumps, Chase gets behind it and blocks it. No run.
Maharaj coming in again.
This one slightly drifting in towards the leg stump. This one again, Chase goes back on the ball and blocks it. There's no run.
Yeah, I like that line from Maharaj with the slip in. Oh no!
This one a bit quicker again. Chase misses it. It hits the pad, but it's sort of a stifled appeal. The South Africans know full well that's missing leg stump quite considerably.
Yeah, he's trying to get that middle and leg stump line with the ball straightening. Is Maharaj. This next one.
Next one is patted on the ground from Chase. Good solid forward defense. No chance for single.
So slip in and short square leg in. Last delivery.
Again, very similar delivery, very similar shot. Chase solidly behind it, showing that he is well in. Ball hits the middle of the bat. There's no run. 47 overs gone. 126 for 6.
Yeah, so the goal here for the West Indies is to bat time, I think. If you're in the West Indies camp, please do tweet us at Gorilla SA, GUERILLASA on Twitter. That's the best way to get hold of us right now and join the conversation. So if you're a West Indies fan listening to us right now, let us know. The West Indies would definitely just want to bat through to lunch without losing another wicket. Lungi and Gidi now into the attack. And he replaces Andrich Nortje, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, did a good first 3 overs. Doesn't start too well here. It's a short, wide run, and Silva really should be hitting that through the field for 4, but doesn't time it at all. And the point fielder gathers it along the ground. There's no run.
Yeah, 3 slips in for Gidi. So that one was a bit offline. He's been very, very neat and tidy in this test match so far. 3 slips, a gully, man at backward point, about 30, 40 meters away from the bat. De Silva right arm faces Ngidi now.
This one's a bit better. Skin, it's out of the off stump, but it's a bit straighter. Silver's not tempted to have a go at it and goes through to the keeper.
126 for 6. De Silva is on 1 off 9. Chase is on 50 off 134. And the Windies will be saying, thank goodness for Austin Chase, because he's been the top scorer in the innings so far and in the match so far. Them only reaching 97.
Indeed. And if it wasn't for his runs in the warm-up game, he probably wouldn't be playing.
Yeah,
And
nice
I've
line
said,
there by Ngidi. Right,
but
tight on off stump.
yeah, blocks it, no run.
Yeah, De Silva facing Ngidi, and he's still trying to get the measure of this pitch. So a good opportunity here for South Africa to get a second wicket in our hour.
Ngidi comes in.
Finish the game before lunch.
This one zeroed in on the stumps, and De Silva whips it through to fine leg for a single. Good delivery and a pretty good shot there from De Silva. He had a bit of a nervous start to his innings, but that was a pretty good shot, even if it was drifting down the leg slightly.
Yeah, I think it's the correct line there for Ngidi. He's got to go for the stumps in this situation. Now Roston Chase facing. So let's see if he can square up Roston Chase and get some outside edges as he did in the first hour. Because Roston Chase is the well-set batsman now, as Ngidi comes in.
But full at this time, good delivery there from Ngidi is that pitches and holds its line. Chase just leaves it, goes through to the keeper. Chase is looking rather solid at the moment, rather dependable.
Yeah, holding up the West Indies here and saving their blushes after that disastrous first day when they won the toss, opted to bat and could only score 97. So let's see this next one.
This next one, it's another full delivery. Excellent delivery there from Ngidi. Chase, nice drive there from Chase from a short along the ground to a shortish cover. Wasn't able to pierce the field. So that's still 127 for 6. The end of the 48.
Yeah, straight to the fielder there, but a little bit of shape through the air by Lungi Ngidi, which is a good sign for South Africa.
Yes.
Let's see if they're going to stick with Maharaj now. I think they should. What do you think,
Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah. If you're big about, you've got to give him a proper spell. It's hard to bowl this test match. His first ball of his new over, nice and drifted and given some real good air there from Maharaj. De Silva gets all tangled up, and it hits at his pads, but it's drifting towards the leg stump. This one, bit better for De Silva. De Silva gets behind it, his front foot forward, blocks it.
Yeah, some really good seam presentation by Maharaj. The ball is spinning on the axis of the seam.
This one driven straight on the ground to Maharaj. Good fielding again. Looks like De Silva does not want to allow Maharaj to dominate him. So it could be an interesting couple of overs. This one, a bit flatter from Maharaj. De Silva tries to whip it through to the leg side for a single, but close in fields and stops it. No run.
Another one here from Maharaj coming thick and fast.
A bit full at this time. Again, De Silva comes forward, blocks it dead into the pitch. There's no run.
So we saw the same thing from the West Indies spinners where they would fire the ball in quicker. Do you think that's trying to exploit the deviation off the pitch, as we've seen from the seam bowlers, as we have a silly point now in as well?
This one down the leg side, poor ball from Maharaj that completes the end of that over. Dot ball, 127 for 6. I would like, particularly the situation that they're in, I would like Maharaj to give it a bit more air. Tempt these two, especially to Silva. I think Silva would like to have a hit at Maharaj. You should say to him, go on, have a hit. If he
Yeah.
bowls it too flat and too quick, then Silva won't be interested. He'll just get back behind it and block it. But you're right. Generally, this test match, the spinners have been looking to be a bit quicker through the air.
Doesn't Gidi abandons his run up there? Yeah, and I think in the past 2 overs from Maharaj, his line has been too much leg side for me. I'd like to see him pitch it on middle and off.
Yeah, I agree. This one is a short ball from Gidi, but it doesn't get up at all, much above the knee roll. Chase swivels around, probably because he's got 50 and he's seeing the ball rather well. He manages to get a thickest edge down to find Logan and go through for a single. But that was more of this inconsistent bounce we've seen throughout this test match. It was a very short ball and it just didn't get up at all.
Yeah, indeed. Roston Chase just managing, as you said, with his eye well in, just managing to connect with that delivery. Now De Silva facing Ngidi.
This run wide of the off stump and De Silva leaves it, goes through to the keeper.
Ngidi also trying to tempt De Silva. It looked to me like De Silva likes the drive. So they've got Rassie van der Dussen there at a short extra cover in a catching position close to the wicket. They've got 3 slips and a gully. They've got backward point in. They've got a man at mid-on who's also not too far away, not too far behind the non-striker's end there.
This is a good ball from Ngidi. Foolish ball, seaming away, and De Silva does get forward to it, but he gets a thickest edge on the offside. Good piece of fielding there from Maharaj once again. He's been in the wars the last couple of overs in the field. No chance for a single.
Yeah, better line there from Ngidi, closer to the off stump, forcing the batsman to play a shot. And I would say that is what De Silva needs to be forced to do, because he's going to try and protect his wicket as much as he can. So attack those stumps, make him play.
This one's too wide. Once again, too wide from Ngidi. As you say, make the batsman play. Especially the lower middle order and tail. Got to make them play. This one went through to the keeper, no run.
Yeah. 128 for 6. De Silva now on 2 of 20. It's difficult to get in on this pitch. We saw that from the South African batsmen as well. And slow outfield means that you don't get reward for mediocre shots.
This one is much better from Ngidi. Back of the legs, just outside the off stump. It bounced off the surface, and De Silva sticks his bat out there, going for fishing, and just misses the edge, goes through to the keeper. One of those ones that could easily have got an edge, but unlucky there for Ngidi. Very good bowler.
No footwork from De Silva. So please attack the stumps, Ngidi. I mean, he squared himself up there. The delivery wasn't good enough to do that. Let's see.
This one a bit fuller on stumps. This one, De Silva is able to get it behind it fairly solidly. Just a little bit fuller. And the ball goes on the offside. That's the end of Ngidi's 12th over. 128-6 after 50.
Yes, indeed. Ngidi conceding only 28 runs, but he hasn't got a wicket yet in this innings. Roston Chase now the top scorer for the West Indies in the match with 51. Sure, just those 4 wickets we need to wrap up this game. But it looks like the West Indies have got the right temperament here. Maharaj continues.
With nicely lifted ball up above the eye line to Chase. Chase gets an inside edge, trying to drive the ball, goes to the leg side, no run. And this one, he's going to be much happier with Chase. He got forward to the delivery and blocked it fairly solidly, no run.
But that's the line I want to see from Maharaj to bring that slip into play.
This one, Chase has an absolute slog sweep, and he hits it over the boundary for a fairly comprehensive 6. It was a good ball for Maharaj. The skin was flighted, was asking him to hit, and Chase obliged, and the ball carried well over the boundary rope for a very well played 6 there from Chase. It's a man in touch.
Good shot by Roston Chase, too full by Maharaj, and he was able to get to the pitch.
This one, a bit flatter from Maharaj. He's learned his lesson. Good line though, and Chase blocks it. No run.
Anis Mohammed says, how's it, Otto and Tim? How's it, Anis? Reckon the game should be done before tea? Yeah, it should be if everything goes to plan for the Proteas.
This next one is a little bit too straight, drifting in towards the leg stump. Chase is able to work it to the leg side for a fairly easy single, and he moves on to 58. And the final ball of the over is again similar, but this time De Silva isn't able to work it through the field and goes slightly to the leg side. So run 135 for 6 after 51.
Let me get some lighting going here while you carry on, Tim. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. So about 23 minutes to lunch. South Africa will be pushing for an extra wicket before lunch, you'd think. And the West Indies will hope that these two can survive the final 23 minutes before the lunch interval. Ngidi, as Otto said, hasn't got a wicket in this innings. He's bowled well enough for a wicket so far. Hopefully he'll be able to pick one up sooner rather than later. He comes in, bowls out of the off stump. It's too wide, and Chase is able to leave it fairly easily. This one is too wide from Ngidi, and again Chase leaves it go through to the keeper. He's been too wide at this spell of bowling the last couple of overs in general. Ngidi, but a couple of good balls. But you'd have to say in general, too many balls that are too wide of the off stump. Otto, you there?
I muted myself, and there we go.
There we go.
He comes in again. Yes.
driven nicely from Chase. It's a nice fullish ball, so it's fairly easy for Chase to drive down the ground. Once again, it's a slow outfield, so plenty of running for Chase to do, and goes through for 3. Nicely driven there for Chase. Looks like he's going to be a difficult man to dislodge at the moment.
Yep. Giving the selectors a headache there for the West Indies. As you said, he probably wouldn't have made the team if he didn't score some runs in the warm-up game. So he's on 61 now of 145. And De Silva is on 2 of 23, just trying to stay with Roston Chase there. They ran 3 in that last delivery. So he's going to be facing Lungi Ngidi, who's got 3 balls to go in his 13th over, conceding 31. Not taking a wicket yet in this innings, Lungi Ngidi. But he certainly hit the areas most of the time.
Outside the off stump, and De Silva leaves it go through to the keeper.
Looks like he's pulling his line back in towards the stumps now, Lungi Ngidi, which is a good sign. 138 for 6 are the West Indies. They trail by 87. So we've got 87 runs to play with. The Proteas, 4 wickets to win by an innings. Sorry, Tim, I'm going to leave you again for a few minutes. I'll be...
No worries, all good. This next ball, Jags back. It's the right sort of delivery that we needed from Giddy in the spell. Jags back viciously into De Silva's midriff. Cuts him at half. It's a very good delivery. Hits De Silva in the stomach. And there's no chance for a single, obviously. But that was a very good ball there from Giddy. This run again from Giddy, a bit full at this time, nicely driven by De Silva and mid-on. Nokia, after his bowling, had to scamper there to make a good piece of fielding to stop the ball, stop West Indians looking for some runs. Good piece of fielding there from Nokia. Backing his bowler up, good to see. 138 for 6. So it's 138 for 6. You think that Maharaj will be bowling once more? Indeed he is. Indeed he is. So seems to be a slight break in player. I think Maharaj is just trying to adjust his field as they show a bit of surrounds of the ground. This one is a beautiful ball. Zeroing in on the Chase's pads. Chase gets a little bit and loses a bit of where he is, but luckily the ball evades everybody and they aren't able to go through for a single. This one, Chase drives hard. There is a long off, and it bounces once to the long off, front of the long off. You would think that Rabada was in there for a chance for a moment, but never really had a chance, really. Bounced right in front of him.
Yeah, so silly point in, slip in, and short square leg.
This one, I could see Maharaj is looking for that LBW dismissal. Nicely bowled in at the stumps. De Silva just manages to get an inside edge and works it slightly to the leg side. Not looking comfortable with De Silva. This one again, a little bit too leg side this time. And it hits the outside of Chase's left leg. No chance of a run, no chance of an appeal.
Yeah, I'd like to see Maharaj just straighten it a little bit more to pitch the ball on middle and leg as opposed to leg and outside leg. Leg slip.
Yeah. This one a bit fuller, and this time Silva rather than go back and get himself into trouble, he goes forward and looks far more comfortable when he goes forward to the ball.
Ooh.
This one zeroed in at the pads again, last flat from the Maharaj, similar to the previous ball before the last one. And there's no run. 139 for 6 after 53. Yeah, you can see the difference in plans. He's happy to bowl outside the off stump Chase, but he wants to bowl middle and leg to Silva. You can see there was a marked difference in Maharaj's thinking.
Yeah, and that last ball beat the bat, but the ball struck the Silva outside leg stump.
Yeah.
So the plan is there for all to see, and I'd just like to see that ball pitching a little bit more on middle and leg as opposed to leg and outside leg from Maharaj, but he's working over the Silva quite nicely. He's still on 2 of 30. Rabada now replacing Lungi and Gidi. And Maharaj has got 1 for 9 runs off 6 overs. Rabada
I think
3.
this is a good change.
25 or 15. Yes, if Maharaj is doing a good job from the one end, and Dean Elgar can rotate his seam attack from the other end.
Also, this is the signal of 40 minutes before lunch. We're gonna have 3 couple of really quick, menacing overs from Abada. Just tell him don't hold anything back. Just go all out. We're getting that wicket. Lovely bowling. Beautiful bowling there from Abada. Good leg outside the off stump, and beats Chase all ends up. Chase wafts at it, sort of playing well away from his pad, squaring them all up, goes through to the keeper. Could easily got an edge there. Rabada right on the money from ball 1.
He comes in again.
Similar delivery this time. There's a bit more of a gap between the bat and the ball. Good piece of bowling there. This one swung away as well. Swung away from Chase nicely. Nice little swing there from Rabada.
Yeah, and Chase left his off stump and his middle stump undefended there.
Yeah.
Rabada picked up on that.
This one, Chase decides to leave, and it goes through to the keeper. Smarter batting there from Chase, starting to realise he doesn't have to play those sorts of deliveries. There might be good deliveries, but there's no need for him to play at them.
Yeah, absolutely. The West Indies just need to bat for time now. If they stay at the crease long enough, they will post some kind of score. Rabada comes in again.
But this one's a fuller delivery on the stumps. This time, Chase gets in behind it and blocks it solidly. Good piece of bowling again there from Rabada, and good defensive batting from Chase. Look, I don't think they will, but if they make South Africa bat again, that's a huge moral victory for them. Say they set us 20 to get, from where they were, that would be a huge thing. This one out of the off stump, and again swinging away quite prodigiously. And Chase does sort of play a little bit the last second, pulls that away, goes through to Quinton de Kock behind the stumps.
Yeah, one ball to go in the 54th, 139 for 6. Roston Chase on 62 off 152.
This one, an excellent delivery. It's a fraction fuller, which makes Chase have to play this delivery. Good piece bowling, pitching out of the off stump, swinging away. As I say, because of the line, Chase felt he had to play it. Again, wasn't much between the bat and the ball there. Goes through to the keeper. 139 for 6 after 54. Very impressive opening over from Rabada in this new spell.
Yeah, I'd like to see a wicket from Rabada here before lunch, or from from both Rabada and Maharaj. And I think if South Africa can manage that, it'll be very difficult for the West Indies to survive until tea. So 10 minutes to go now to lunch. And it's Maharaj to continue. From which end, I'm not sure. If you know,
He's just readjusting his field slightly.
Taking his time. Almost all of his fingers taped up. Bowling to De Silva.
This one on the stumps, thickest inside edge from De Silva, evades the short leg and goes along the ground. They scamper through for a quick single. I think De Silva will be very happy that he will be at the non-strikers. Hopefully be there for the rest of the over for his sake. He was struggling against Maharaj.
Leg slip goes out now. Only short leg, short square leg, and a slip in for Maharaj.
This one on the stumps again and worked the leg nicely from De Silva, and there's no run.
Yeah, so Roston Chase facing now.
Sorry, did I say De Silva?
Oh!
This one going in with the arm. Chase misses it completely. Hits the front pad. South Africans appeal, but I reckon that's missing leg stump. They think about a review. They decide against it, but beat Chase all ends up that delivery. So that's good piece of bowling from Maharaj. Oh, this one faster, flatter. Chase tries to cut it, but it's too close to cut. You can't be cutting your balls on middle stump, and he chops it onto his stumps. That is a very important wicket near the end of the session for South Africa. And a well worked wicket there from Maharaj. Second of the innings for him.
Amazing delivery there by Maharaj. The bounce just not getting up to where Roston Chase thought it would, and he got a thick inside edge down onto his stumps as he tried to cut that ball off his back foot right up against his stumps. Any mistake in that position with that delivery, and Rakeen Cornwall comes to the wicket.
That's 56. 56 of 156, I think. No, 62. 62 of 162, something like that. I haven't got the scorecard on me. Have you got the scorecard?
I do. Roston Chase, bowled by Keshav Maharaj for 62, scored off 156 balls with 7 fours and 1 6, strike rate of 39.74. So that would be about 2.5 on Simon's table. So good. 140 for 7 now, the West Indies. And Cornwall joins.
Cornwall's
at the wicket.
Cornwall's numbers might be a little bit unfair. He's only got an average of 18, but in his short test career, he's been involved in some very, very important batting partnerships. He's made a couple of very, very useful 50s lower down the order. And he's actually been involved in a partnership of 90 with De Silva against Sri Lanka, if I'm not mistaken. Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. He certainly likes to play shots, as we saw in the first innings. Cornwall. He won't hang about.
Yep. So short extra cover, silly point, slip and a leg slip and a short square leg in for Rakeem Cornwall facing Maharaj, and he blocks this one back down the pitch for no run. Blood in the water here. Protea sensing that, putting some men around the bat.
This one again, a very similar delivery from Maharaj, blocked by Cornwall and goes slightly to the leg side. The end of the over, 140 for 7 after 55. But Maharaj has 2 for 10 in 7 overs. Delighted
So now,
that
full and
he's
straight. Two
been
new
given a
batsmen at the
ball.
crease.
Sorry? Sorry?
Two new batsmen at the crease. Full and straight, please.
Yes.
Full and straight.
Yes. Yeah. 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 This
Okay,
is
De
now
Silva has faced
tail.
31. Yeah, De Silva has faced 31 deliveries already, but Rabada comes into him and does exactly what I'm asking for.
Foolish ball driven by De Silva, stopped by the bowler. Just the run. Yes, but that was good, as you say. Good, foolish, straight ball on the stumps. Exactly what we want. In a situation like this, we want to finish this as quickly as possible.
Rabada goes in.
Again, very full ball out of the off stump. De Silva is able to drive it at it through the covers. I'm a little bit surprised that he only went for 1 there. There was an easy 2, I reckon. But he just says to Cornwall, no, we're only taking the 1. So Rabada has got the rest of the over, 4 deliveries to bowl to Cornwall.
Yes, as we see a tweet in here from Anis Muhammad again, submission for new Protea player nicknames. Dean, Boring Cricket, BC, Algar, Keegan, not that KP Peterson, Kyle, Will Dance, Verheine, Andrich, the Barber, Norkia, and of course, Vian, senior player, Mulder.
I like those. This was a foolish ball. Leaves Cornwall all squared up. Lovely piece of bowling there from Rabada. Goes through to the keeper behind. Could easily got an edge there. Cornwall didn't have much of an idea about that delivery.
Yeah, he tried to edge that to the slips, but didn't manage that at Cornwall. Oh, yes.
And this was a foolish ball. Cornwall can't stop himself driving it at it, but it's driving on the up and caught by Russell van der Dussen at mid-off. Good catch there. And West Indies are falling like a pack of cards at the moment. Yeah, his feet were nowhere. He was never in position to play the drive. Both feet stuck in the crease. Driving from there was always going to go in the air. And Cornwall goes for 0 of 4 deliveries. Caught by the dozen bowled Rabada. And West Indies are 141 for 8.
Yep. He was through the shot early. That ball struck his bat quite high up, about 2/3 the way up. And he just lobbed it gently to Rassie van der Dussen standing at a shortish extra cover, who ran around to his right, dove forward a bit and took an easy catch there. Rakeem Cornwall out for naught. And things are going to plan here for South Africa. We see the 2 wickets to win graphic up on the screen here as we're watching, and that's also always nice to see. So Kimo Roach I'll expect him to be there. Yes, he is. Best of 41. West Indies will be hoping for that to see if De Silva and Kimo Roach can push this game a little bit further, or is this going to be 2 wickets, a hat trick here for Rabada? Oh, not quite.
And out of the off stump and nicely, solidly behind it is Kimal Roach. He's a solid cricketer. He's bat and ball, just a wholehearted trier, and gets behind it nicely. Of course, Rabada is also one away from a 5-wicket haul.
Oh, yes. So let's see if they won't delay lunch, would they?
This one moves away prodigiously again, really is moving all over the place, despite the age of the ball, but well away from the batter, goes through the keeper, no run. I don't know.
No.
I suppose they might. Oh, yes. Yeah, I
They're
suppose.
going to take
If,
lunch
if-
after this next over.
I suppose if Maharaj gets a wicket now, yes, they would say, carry on, lads. Carry on.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen that, where they would like postpone lunch just to get a result in the match.
I think so. I think so. This one in at the stumps, Maharaj to De Silva. De Silva plays back. Not too sure why. The problem's playing back. Gets behind it and blocks it. No run. What I say? This one beats them all ends up. Half forward, half back. Not really anywhere. Hits the back pad. Doing too much. It's a stifled appeal for Maharaj. It's not out, but it certainly made De Silva look silly. This one is fuller outside the off stump. De Silva tries to work to the leg. Fielder comes round to the leg side, stops it, and no run.
Yeah, what can Maharaj do here? De Silva has faced a lot of deliveries, but he's not properly comfortable yet.
This one a bit more flighted from Maharaj this time onto the off stump, and De Silva decides to come forward to this one. You see that's a better option. Blocks it. There's no run. Once again, this one going with the arm, hits the pad, misses the bat. There's appeal from the South Africans. Again, I don't think it's out. It's missing leg stump, and they aren't going to review.
Yeah, they've got silly point, short leg, short square leg. Yeah, that one hit De Silva well outside leg stump, and a leg slip and a slip for Maharaj.
Last ball of the over, out of the off stump. This one, Silva gets in behind it, and he's able to move it on the offside and go through for a single.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Dave.
How are we all doing?
We are doing fine, mate. We're doing fine.
Hey, we took 3 wickets in an hour, man. We're doing great.
I know you guys are not even leaving the post lunch team any opportunities yet to get at least 1 or 2 sticks. You guys are determined to wrap this up before the lunchtime interval. Excellent.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Absolutely. Just in time for the Sharks Bulls game, Otto.
Yep.
Oh, this one, it's a short ball again. It's one of those ones that doesn't get up at all, and it hits De Silva on the arm, and he is in absolute agony on the ground.
That's a risk of a broken arm.
This could be a broken arm. This could be a broken arm. It just didn't get up at all, and De Silva is in some real discomfort, holding his arm.
KG's pulled his helmet off there. What a nice gesture from the fast bowler.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Honestly, that's gotta hurt.
Let's see the replay.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
they're
that's right on the,
on the elbow.
edge of the elbow, right on
On
the
the elbow.
little- yeah,
On the elbow.
on the
Oh.
trigger there. What do you call it?
funny bone.
Oh
My word!
Goodness.
And you can see the funny bone, yeah, and you can
Oh.
see there's some displacement. Something's out of place there for De Silva. That elbow doesn't look like a normal elbow anymore.
Looks
Oh,
like Shea
I
Hope
think
is
he's
keeping
gonna
in the
have to
second
try
game.
off. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
know.
word.
That is
Uh,
absolutely disturbing to watch. Oh no, he's moving his arm, so he doesn't
Yeah.
have any permanent physical damage at this point. Is De Silva shaking his arm? He's got definitely a bit of a dead arm there on the funny bone.
Bit of pins and needles, maybe.
Nah.
Yeah, just have a look at
My
this one.
heerlijkheid.
Ow.
That's not nice.
the F word you're looking for, Otto, is fantastic. Great fast bowling.
Double F there, ja. Flippin' fantasties by Rabada. Klap hom laat hy luister. Hy wil nie meer cricket
Absolutely.
speel nie. He doesn't want to play cricket
Absolutely.
anymore.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to remember that hit. Oh wow, that's
You can see it looking a bit purple there, maybe.
oh, that's going to be more than purple, my friend. That's going to be one day when he tells his grandchildren, he's still not going to be able to move that arm properly.
Arm guard coming out. It's a bit late now, fella. It's after the horse has bolted, I think.
I was gonna say, I mean,
Watch KG followed up with the Yorker and bowl him. In-swinging Yorker. Ping.
Yep.
I'd love to
Yeah,
see
they're
that.
calling for the arm guard. Too late for that now.
Just bring him an
It
arm.
looks
Just
like
bring him a new
Silva
arm.
is-
Nog 'n
One
arm,
of these
asseblief.
days. Let's get one off the shelf and plug it in. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Oh.
the physio is testing the arm. De Silva has got a smile on his face. Elgar inquiring as to his general state of health, and he's got a brave smile on his face, nodding to the physio there, saying, "I'm okay. I'm playing for my countries." Being a West Indies player, he's representing a whole lot of different countries and territories there in the Caribbean, and he doesn't want to give up that easily. He's channeling his inner Graham Smith, no doubt.
Absolutely. Just to come, sorry, I just want to point out they're just showing the wickets, the replay of some of the wickets. But Jason Holder, I mean, brain fade. What happened there?
playing for the
How
turn.
bizarre.
Playing for
How
the turn.
bizarre. Mm.
But then, surely, Tim, if you're playing for the turn and you put your bat there, if it's turning enough that you are comfortable leaving it alone, it's not going to catch the edge. Or even if you have a closed bat, you know, tuck that bat right next to the pad. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm always a fan of playing the ball. Play the ball, and if you're getting it so tough, I'm not a fan of the leaving. I'm just going through his thinking. His thinking is, it's 20 minutes to lunch. I just want to stay in. I don't want any funny business here. Left arm spinner, he's going to spin it away from me. Right hand batsman, he's going to spin away. And he's just thinking, boom, pitching on, off, and spinning. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like George Little was practicing his golfing drives there in the background. And right behind Joshua De Silva there.
Back in business. It's a foolish ball to Silva gets behind it, blocks it, and he looks alright. It looks okay. He's shaking his arm, obviously, so it's still hurting, but obviously still well enough to hold the bat.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of those signals are coming back to his brain to say that he is actually holding the bat.
Yeah. And-
Foolish ball for Babada and
oh,
inside edge onto pad and onto the offside. No run.
I want KG to get a 5 for here, lads. Come on.
Mm. Yeah, that's gonna be good. After all the criticism that we dished out to him on day one.
This
Ooh.
one is a foolish ball, slightly towards the leg stump.
Goes on the leg.
Silva misses it, hits his pad, goes on the ground in the offside. No run.
So maybe beware the winded West Indian here. Let's see if he can put up a fight. He's got 5 runs of 43. He's certainly been fighting hard as De Silva.
The wounded Windian.
Oh, this one is a foolish ball out of the off stump, and De Silva can't help himself and have a nice lofted drive. Goes past the third slip, I think. Evades the slip fielders, but he was beating all ends up there. Yeah. Desperate dive from Mulder, but I think it just about missed him. Yeah, missed him. Beat him all ends up, really.
Yeah, and
Agonizingly.
just not close enough to Mulder to get a hand to that as he dove to his right from third slip. 1 ball to go in the 58th.
This one out to the off stump and left behind the stumps and 146 for 8 after 58 overs.
Yeah, and we
Let's-
don't mind De Silva driving. Are they postponing
Let's-
lunch now?
Is this
Oh,
a
what's happening?
postponement of lunch?
So yes, the decision was that there would be 15 minutes of a postponement of lunch, and if the 9th wicket fell within that 15-minute bracket, they would then extend it by another 15 minutes. So I think we're
Okay.
probably at the final over here, possibly
So we got
until.
one more over.
So
one
no,
more
yeah, sorry,
over.
probably the last 4 minutes here of play. So they're just going to wrap the last one up. Hopefully, South Africa can pick up a stick with this next over, and then KG with a fifer from the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. Maharaj comes in, bounce outside the off stump. Roach gets nicely forward, blocks it into the pitch. No run.
Yeah, a nice extra 15 minutes at least for the two of us, Tim.
Yes, indeed.
Don't say no
Again,
to
another foolish ball from Maharaj. Then Roach gets solidly behind it. He looks determined to survive here.
Mm-hmm. Silly point in, square leg in.
It's a repeat there. Maharaj does think that the silly middle has caught this. I think Roach thinks it's a bump ball. It's out of the off stump. Roach gets forward, blocks it. I'm pretty sure he blocks it into the ground, and then the silly middle catches it. But Maharaj thinks otherwise.
And Dino has actually gone upstairs for that one. Let's just have a look here.
Whoa. That might have hit the pad first. Pad behind the bat.
Oh,
behind
that's
the
why
pad.
he's asking.
That's why.
Not
Sorry.
the court,
Sorry.
but rather pad bat.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, Roach tucked his bat right behind his left knee, and that hit the pad first. Yeah.
There we go. Maharaj
That's
is
it.
right. Hit the pad first, 100%.
Yeah, so he's got the bat pad going there, Roach. Nice forward defensive, but the ball hitting the pad first. So we'll have a look at the predictive ball bouncing thingy.
Hawkeye is the word you're looking for.
The Hawkeye
Ball
thingy,
tracking.
the Mabubi. Yes.
Die bal ding met die rooi en groen en alles. Oh, gents. How was that? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh,
So close.
my word.
Wry smile there from the home umpire.
It's
the
about
funny side of it.
15. It's about 15 millimeters of the ball clipping the top of the bales there on the Hawkeye.
I genuinely think the umpire must have thought it was bat first.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was a
I
very
think so.
faint,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
very faint pad
Um,
at first there. Mm.
It's top
And
ball
the
here
no,
again.
not quite. Should have come. The umpire walked away like it was overballed. Disappeared
This
from frame.
one,
I've had enough, lads.
this one is lofted up in the air by Maharaj, goes down the leg side, and Roach isn't able to connect with it. No run. Final ball, and I think the final ball of session,
Mm-hmm.
I believe
unless
so.
That way.
unless
Come on.
it's a wicket.
There's a wicket here. Come on, Tim.
Unless
Throw the
it's a
bones.
wicket.
Wicket.
Come on, Keshi. Get in there.
We should have had a wicket in this over, to be honest. So I did kind of predict it, kind of, you know.
I think there's a bit of field placements going on. I think Maharaj is
Just get
moving.
everybody around Roach. That's the field placing. Everybody around Roach.
Maharaj comes in for the final ball, and Roach gets solidly behind it, as if he's on 100 and blocks beautifully. 146 for 8 after 59, and I think that is lunch. Not sure.
I think so too.
Looking.
No,
What?
looks like not.
Apparently, no
Looks
one's
not.
hungry.
We're getting
Look,
some
no.
more bonus minutes here, Tim. Don't complain too much.
Play on.
Yay, let's go. 2 wickets and 2 balls here by Rabada. Come on. How difficult can it be? How hard?
It's really not. It's really not. When you bowl into number 10 and a wicket keeper who doesn't have too many games under his belt.
Rabada comes into the server. Oh, that was a short ball, but it's too wide, way over his head, and the silver doesn't have to do too much except for duck underneath it.
Please, can we acknowledge how much of an athlete Kagiso Rabada is? Just let's just acknowledge that.
Yes, we know that. We know he's an awesome athlete.
Just need to remind the listeners of the fact that Kagiso Rabada is an athlete with a capital A.
4 slips now and a gully. Short square leg. Let's see if De Silva dares to drive.
This one is the foolish ball. This one is the ball that you ask the batsman to drive at, and De Silva says, "No, thank you," and the ball goes through to the keeper.
Can you imagine Phil Simmons' comments? You walk into the change room, 3 or 4 balls to go to lunch, and you've driven straight to 4th slip.
Yeah, a newly established 4th slip position.
Yeah, you
Not
muppet.
done well. Yeah.
It's probably the kind word that will be said.
This one is a foolish ball. Zooming on the pads, it goes on the offside. There was an appeal from the South Africans. I don't think there was an inside edge or
Come on, lads.
glove.
Yeah.
Come on, lads. Go on.
Reviewed.
They have reviewed it.
Yes, Dino. I mean, why not?
Dean
Yeah,
has
there had to
reviewed
have
it.
been something there, either an LBW, and if that was some bat there, then that would have been caught in backward point.
I
the
think
ball
De Silva's
slid off the pads and went high up into the air and was caught by the man running in from backward point.
bat onto shoe onto catch.
Something like that. Yeah, Dean Elgar is signaling that he thinks there was an inside edge onto the pads or somewhere, but the ball ballooned up through the air to backward point and was caught. So either it's an LBW or there's a catch there.
Why does Eden Markram's cap look a lot worse for wear than Dean Elgar's?
So
just
I think that struck the
observation.
inside of the.
shall review now. It's
Probably
nothing in the
missing
bat.
leg.
It hits
Yeah,
the front pad, but it It's above the knee roll.
That's probably missing leg peg.
Yeah, I don't think this is out either way. I don't think this is LBW.
Yeah, no catch there, unless the ball.
Yeah, definitely no catch. It's just about it's LBW. It's pitching in the
clearly-
line and going over the top. And review lost.
Ah.
Okay, so how many reviews do South Africa have left now?
I believe
I think
one remaining. We've used
One
two.
remaining. Yes.
Mm.
One remaining
Yeah,
for South Africa, 2 for the West Indies. De Silva survives to fight another day. Can he get to his double figures, or will Rabada remove this irritating man before lunch?
3 balls to do it. Here we go.
Varda comes in, foolish ball out of the off stump, almost identical to the last ball. Hits him in the pads and just goes onto the ground. No run. But
Ball
the
is
Silva
still
doesn't look
seeming
comfortable.
urgent. No, not at all. And we don't mind that. Bang him on the elbow. 1, 2 full ones. Short one again. Catch him on the pad. Kagiso Rabada. What a biscuit. In fact, he's the whole Quality Streets choices sorted as well.
This one, Rabada bowls out of the off stump. This one, Silva does try to drive, but luckily for him, he doesn't get anything on it. If he had, he would have gone straight through to the keeper. It's just a sort of perfect line and length ball where you ask the batsman to drive, and De Silva obliged. Luckily for him, he didn't get an edge. Oh, this one is in at the stump, zeroing in, and this time, like Holder, De Silva lifts his bat up and knocks out his peg out the ground, and the West Indies are 9 down.
Literally on the stroke of the extension of lunch, Kagiso Rabada bowled him. Shattered the
Rabada
stumps.
gets yet another 5-wicket haul. The ball just didn't get up enough, but poorly played, really.
Yeah, so
I'm
he
not sure
left that
why.
on length. He
Yeah,
must have left that on length. But the ball was coming in to his off stump. Even if it's going over, he's out for 9 or 51 is Joshua De Silva. And he looks absolutely disgusted with himself, and rightly so. I mean, why leave that ball? Just get in behind it. He's probably thinking of the 4 slips, trying to see if he can leave on length. But on this pitch, you can't leave on length when the ball is misbehaving like this.
And you know, the point I want to make, gents, is that you remember recently I said, can you imagine Phil Simmons, you go nick off to 4th slip? What is Phil Simmons going to say now? You've just left a ball that is kind of done nothing too unusual to this test match, and you've left it and gone ping onto the stumps. Did we see the youngster onto the park?
especially when you know this is a 2-page pitch. There's been balls that have been dying like that consistently all throughout the test match. You know it's there. You don't. You shouldn't be leaving balls like that.
Rather err on the side of caution, you would think. Bit of a cutter there.
Yeah, so that picture of De Silva's face after hearing his off stump flying out the ground is next to the definition of bemused in the dictionary.
Yes, that photo, just that face.
Believe that trajectory of that ball.
But if it was
just comes in and that's blocked by Roach. No run. Sorry, yes, Dave?
Yeah, if it was a peach of a delivery, if it was an absolute Jaffa, it nipped in and then jagged away, different story. But that was an average off cutter.
Yeah, it's just standard delivery and very substandard batting.
I still think he left it on length. I think it was short enough for him to think that it would go over his stumps. But once again, on this pitch, you can't leave on length.
You can't leave on length on this pitch. It's madness. There would just been a couple of dot balls there. Nothing exciting. Roach just getting in behind the ball and being rather solid.
So short square leg has gone out to an extra silly point. And short square leg is now back. Leg slip, and silly point.
It's a bit of a kind of a catching cover there. A straightish cover, if you will.
Yep. Yeah.
Round arm.
All around so far.
Round arm.
Maharaj. Yeah. Maharaj tried the round arm there to get the ball to stay low.
One to come.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Tim. Take another wicket here.
Roach is solidly behind. Roach is very solid. Roach looks really, real rock. He's been the rock of the side for a good decade and continuing it with the bat.
Tell me how Kemar Roach, managed to get through school, because with a surname like Roach, surely you got bullied. Surely kids said mean things. Kids are cruel.
Yeah, but not in the West Indies. They've all got some pretty mockable, bullyable names. So I can't.
But Roach, Otto. I mean, surely there's got to be somebody that said something to him, and I don't doubt there would have been. I mean, there's surnames, and then there's Roach.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're growing up with people who have surnames along the similar vein, you might not cop it as badly as Otto Simon did in the east of Pretoria.
First one is just left alone outside the off stump. Otto's bringing in emotional baggage into this broadcast. And how did that make you feel, Otto?
So bad.
Better than Joshua De Silva leaving that delivery? I think he's frozen.
I think he's not frozen. I think he's freezing himself.
Catch.
No.
On the bounce to a leg slip.
Yeah. The ball, this is the ball of the stumps here. This is right out of the off stump, and that's 2 leg side. On the stumps, full. Knock out his pitch, please. Come on. Finish it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen the Shakib Ul Hassan footage of him absolutely losing it?
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Nicely driven this one from Seals down the ground, and he's able to go through for 2, I think. Yeah, I don't know what's happened out of that, but I would like to think he's gonna get a whack of a fine.
Take a look at the attack.
So he has been giving a fine. Yeah, Tsepo, welcome.
How's it? Just in time for the photo finish, and I have seen that Shakib Al Hassan video. There are actually 2 videos. One where he kicked the bails off the stumps, and then another one where he took the stumps out and he threw them down. Perfect throw. Those stumps bounced like
he has been banned and fined.
Yeah, horrible.
Just dumbfounded. I can't believe it.
Yeah, a player of his class and of his stature. I wouldn't have expected it. I thought it was another Shakib. When I saw the name, I didn't think it was him. I was like, no, surely it can't be him. There are probably tons of people with this name out there. He's not the only one. Turns out, child.
Yeah, I think he's been banned for 5 games and fined something like 5 lakh.
That's a lot.
Foolish sport.
How was that?
Roach misses it, hits his back pad. South Africans appeal, but
Come on, Dino. Come on, Dino. You got one left.
Take the review. You have one left. Come on, 1 wicket. Dino. For the vibes, Dino. Dino for the vibes, Dino. For the vibes. Come on.
Nah. Seppo is not interested in the vibes. He failed his vibe check. Failed it, as the youths would say.
Hadi, next time.
No, that's probably missing off
Otto's
leg.
back. The famous 4. Let's go for the photo finish. My Pretoria buddy, how's it?
Good, and you, my
Comes in. It's a slip guided down the leg side by Roach for single. And it gets off the mark. West Indies move on to 150 for 9 at the end of that
Hey,
over.
150 up.
150 up.
Yay. There it
Yay.
is. Yay. Milestones. You got to get the stats on the board. Make the score look a little bit more respectable. That's what these guys are doing now.
It's a slip cord in here. There's 4 of us, gents.
Yo, literally. That's what we should call it whenever there's 4 here, like a proper aggressive slip cordon. We're here to take wickets. We're here to take wickets.
Yes. And good to see you are in a permanent dwelling, Tsepo, and not in a mobile home.
Yes, they let me in the house now. They let me in the house.
Let Tsepo in the house. Come on.
That's
Why
a
do you like
campaign,
that?
yes. We should. There was a hashtag and everything.
Hashtag let him in.
It's a top ball there from Maharaj to Roach. Roach blocks it. Yeah, no run.
Oh, I'm glad to see Maharaj is in the wickets column as well. At least there was something here for the spin.
They
Ooh.
catch it. Oh,
And this one, it's a foolish ball, and Roach decides, I'm not going to be blocking anymore. And he smacks it over Maharaj's head for a massive 6. That's a really good shot from Roach. He doesn't fancy blocking anymore.
Do we have a YOLO jingle for that?
we
Do you have a
we
jingle,
can,
surely?
Smack it in the air.
You can sing
Another one.
karaoke in the slip cord here.
It's a repeat,
Oh, DJ Khaled, another one.
another 6. And really good shot to Roach.
Oh,
Really
Deja vu,
good
anyone?
shot.
you.
That was really good.
Sing the jingles.
Yo.
Hashtag
Maharaj
sing the jingles.
Hashtag sing the jingles. Let's make it a campaign. There's jingles
Hashtag
on the
let him
fly
in.
out here. Let him in. Bro.
Hashtag let him in.
Hashtag one more wicket. Oh,
Big
so
smile
close.
from Roach.
So 2 6s and a dot there by Roach. And this one just past the man at slip. Next one in.
This one, Roach comes forward and blocks it. And there's no run. One more ball of the over to go.
Very well block that.
It's
Roach comes in and Roach blocks it. It's behind it nice and solidly. 162 for 9 after 63.
controlled by the quick West Indian there. He's hit 2 massive 6s and then defended it sensibly. So clearly calm head on his shoulders and something that was severely lacking from West Indian batting other than Roston Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than Roston Chase, come on, Roach is batsman of the day.
Roston Chase wasn't expecting that, eh?
Yeah, so from here on, I think the West Indies just need to set the tone for the next match. I mean, this kind of innings by Kemar Roach can lift the team a little bit, because an innings defeat is definitely on the cards here.
Can we just quickly talk about the fact, again, KG is an athlete with a capital A, an economy of 1.7 with a fifer?
That was mad. That was mad, actually.
He was bad in the first.
That was me. I was me. It was me, and I take it back.
Shame.
He was looking flat.
Shame.
I take it back.
Shame.
Shame.
We wag our finger at you, sir.
I'll even leave the stream. Yeah, into the naughty corner. That was, guys. Yeah, wallop me. Yo, a finable offense. Actually, doubting this man's class. Imagine that.
Down your drink right now, Chepo.
Yeah. To quote Shakespeare, we bite our thumb at you, sir.
Yes.
There goes the mug of tea or something. Down the hatch.
Empty, Bruce. Empty. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, wow.
Here we go. Wicket, come on.
And for those who want to know what's going on in the cricket, it's just 2 dot balls. Nothing too exciting. Nokia's into the attack there. Bowling to Seals. Seals is getting behind it nice and solidly and blocking it.
I'm going to sit on this side of the stream so that I'm at leg slip. The side of my camera.
Shout out. Okay, wait. I think I'm gonna try go to first slip. Wait, Otto, you need to be wicket keeper. Oh, awesome. Here, it's the slip cordon here on One World Sports Radio. Nokia coming in.
3 slips and
It's
a
a
gully.
shortest
taken.
ball and dabbed by Seals to the gully on the bounce. No run.
So,
He's
guys,
practicing the cut shot there. So good luck with that, Jaden Seals. 3 of
You-
6. He's surviving for the West Indies, but not looking very convincing. He's got a good. It looks like he has a good batting technique. He's not a tail ender. He's not a number 11. It looks like.
Nokia comes in. It's a foolish ball. Drifting outside the off stump. Seals drives at it. Luckily for him, doesn't get an edge. Goes through to the keeper.
and the
Well,
cordon
played
goes.
inside the line.
Ooh.
Played inside the line there. Easily could have been an edge. And with the movement of the pitch, it almost looked like it got an edge, but no reaction from the Protea fielders there. So Seals is concentrating. This is time in the middle for the debutant, so it's good for the West Indies. He's facing Heinrich Nortje from Uitenhage.
Nokia goes round the wicket to Seals. Goes a short ball. Seals ducks underneath it. Goes through to the keeper. Not too much trouble there for Seals, but he won't like that too much.
The mind games of good cricket, when you see a fast bowler following up a lovely full delivery that has beaten the bats with a bouncer, I think it's such an underestimated skill is to have that plan and to be able to execute it. I think it's something that lacks with some fast bowlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name of this, if I could give the word one test match, if I could give the test
catch.
match one word, sorry.
Got him.
Goes round the wicket. Foolish ball to
Oh.
Seals. Seals can't help but drive at it. Gets the thickest edge, and just catches it beyond border. And South Africa win by an innings and 63 runs. That is as comprehensive as you get.
Great catch,
Vian
Tim.
senior player Mulder.
Well done.
Oh, Tim, shout out. You won the slip game, the slip cordon game here tonight. First slip. Standing in Vian Mulder, senior player Mulder's position. Catcher of the match, if anything. He probably has almost as. Should I do the stats?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Give me a moment. Okay.
Tim, what did you think about South Africa's performance in this game before we get to Tsepo, and I'll go to Otto next.
Yeah, I thought it was good from ball one. Previous from ball one, right at the money, having lost the toss. I thought we were good in all sectors. We were good with the ball, especially good at the field. We've caught everything. There can always be improvements with the batting. We could always have a few more runs from people who are just finding their feet. But I thought it was a good, solid performance, good, solid team performance all around. It was never really in doubt. We were on top from ball one, and it never really changed. A very important win. I thought we were good throughout the test match.
Wonderful. Otto, your final thoughts.
So if you want to be a world-beating team, you've got to win test series away from home. So that's a good start from South Africa in that sense. And I also think I was dreading the usual slow start to the test series by South Africa, and that trend was broken in this match. Feeling a little cheated that we only got 7 sessions of test cricket, but we'll take that as Proteas fans, and let's see if the Windies can come back in the second test. I wouldn't like to see that, but I hope they put up a better fight in the next one, and we see a 5-day test match with a tense final day session. Yeah, very happy as a Proteas fan. Condolences to the Windies. Not really a good performance from them, but they've got some young talent that looks promising.
Sweet. Yes. And that caps off a comprehensive victory here by the South Africans. We'll give you the scorecard now with Craig Brathwaite's the first wicket to fall, LBW to KG Rabada. His opening partner, Kieran Powell, yes, I was right the first time, fell in the same way for 14, Brathwaite for 7. Sorry for forgetting. After that, Heinrich Nortje took the wickets of Shy Hope, Vian senior player Mulder taking the catch there. Carl Mayers was the next one to fall. Once again, the combo of Nortje and senior player Mulder taking his wicket there. Carl Mayers went for 12, and then Jermaine Blackwood fell to Kagiso Rabada. That was his third wicket there. 13 or 45 balls was Blackwood. And then after Blackwood, it was Jason Holder, and Jason Holder went out for 4, bowled by Keshav Maharaj, and then Roston Chase, the best of the batsmen, also fell to the spinner Keshav Maharaj for 62, and he was followed by Joshua De Silva. Yes, Joshua De Silva, bowled by KG Rabada, and that was KG Rabada's 5th wicket, and he had excellent figures. Just to mention, 5 for 34, and an economy rate of 1.7. That is absolutely fantastic. After that, Rakeem Cornwall also fell for KG Rabada, took him as well. He fell for 0, and then Jaden Seals was the last one to fall. Once again, Heinrich Nortje and Vian Mulder, another combo there, and Seals fell for 3. Have to mention Kemar Roach, not out for 13, had 2 big sixes against Keshav Maharaj, and that left West Indies 162 all out. They lost by an innings and 63 runs. A fantastic performance by the South Africans, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you've got to wonder what changes will come from the West Indies as they head into the second test at the same venue, the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium at Grosselet in St. Lucia. We will be with you for every single ball. Our colleagues will be with you for the England series, as they always have been, Guerrilla Cricket UK, and they will be bringing you every moment of that. There's also the World Test Championship final that we will definitely be keeping our eyes on. There's Euro 2020. There is always sports. Don't forget, the full quota is our podcast. And don't forget, if you want to chat to us, tweet us at Guerrilla SA. We are keen to join you all online. And from all of us here and from all of you listening at home, thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Stay safe.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye. Go Bulls.